Years ago, Marty enjoyed doing lots of things, but then she began losing her sight.
Couldn't see, and I'd probably get the peppers in with the zucchinis, and there'll be big problems then.
So she went to her doctor, who told her,
"You have macular degeneration."
A degenerative disease caused by too many blood vessels growing in the eye, underneath the retina.
As these blood vessels grow, they leak out fluid and blood in the center of her vision, and it's as if you're looking through a very dirty windshield, essentially.
I went home, I was just devastated.
But to fully appreciate this tale, let's back up a bit. We're going to find DNA, and well, we'll make it a typical cell, so we're going to have to fly in and then go off to the nucleus of the cell, which will make a beautiful castle, the headquarters. And there's the DNA, the master code inside the nucleus. And that scribe, copying recipes out of the cookbook and throwing them out the window, out to the cytoplasm C that makes up most of the cell, all those recipes floating through the air, they are RNA. And to finish up, in that sea, you see hundreds of thousands of, well, we've made them into little guys with chef hats. And whenever a recipe lands on a chef, whatever it is, he cooks it. Which brings us to Marty Russell. Marty volunteered to be a candidate for RNAi therapy, something so new she's kind of a pioneer.
She was probably one of the first to get it for any disease whatsoever, and specifically for macular degeneration.
You don't hear much about it, but RNAi is a really big deal. Cells from time immemorial have had a mortal enemy called the virus. So let's imagine that the virus is a pirate ship. It lands. It then sends invaders inside the cell to shower recipes down to those cooks. And what's in these recipes is not good for the cell. So cells develop a secret defense system which we will call the COP. What the COP does is when viruses invade and create showers of murderous recipes, the COP looks and thinks, some of these have a very fishy shape. It's a chemical difference which comes down to some of the viral recipes are 2 pages instead of 1, and one side is a mirror image of the other. But the point is, to the COP, there's something not right about this shape. And the COP destroys the recipe.
Cells were able to tell that something was very funny when they saw mirror image messages and start not just destroying the messages, but destroying anything that looked like that message. RNAi means RNA interference, because the COP is interfering with RNA messages, with the recipes in the cell.
And when scientists realized that every plant and animal cell has RNAi, a way to turn off the recipes, turn off genes, they thought, maybe we can use these COPs to work for us. The reason Marty has so many blood vessels growing in her eye, clouding her vision, is there's probably a mistake in her DNA, in a gene that produces too many recipes that say, make more blood vessels. So the chefs cook up proteins for more, and she ends up with too many blood vessels. Her doctor wants her to have fewer blood vessels. But how do you get the chefs to make fewer blood vessels?
It's pretty easy. You want to shut down a gene? Put in a copy of the gene with its mirror image. Signals the cell, better shut this thing down.
We inserted the needle after numbing her up.
So the doctors literally injected RNA recipes into Marty's eyes that said, make more blood vessels. But they made those recipes look dangerous, like viral recipes, hoping the COP in Marty's cells would leap to it and destroy lots of recipes for more blood vessels, leaving Marty with fewer blood vessels. They wanted the COP to turn off Marty's disease. Did it work?
Marty's vision has improved. It's a very promising result.
So apparently they did trick the COP in Marty's cells to reduce vein production, although not completely.
I see the yellow. Inside is just a little cloudy, but I can see it.
There's a lot of questions still that need to be answered.
Can we deliver recipes to the right cells?
Lovely.
Does the treatment last?
That's beautiful.
All these are big questions. Still, in mice, RNAi has been effective with Huntington's disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, hepatitis, breast cancer. So if we ever work this out in humans...
Any sort of disease that you can imagine becomes fair game.